When trust is shattered by betrayal, the immediate pain is overwhelming, but the most devastating wounds often happen in the quiet aftermath, found in the distorted messages a woman begins to believe about herself. The brain is built to find logic in chaos. When the foundation of a relationship suddenly drops out, the mind frantically searches for any answer to explain why the world feels so unsafe. Because of how trauma operates, that search for answers often points the finger inward. The internal dialogue turns against itself, generating punishing thoughts like, "If I were prettier, I should have known," or simply, "I am broken." These are shame statements, trauma-induced messages that have no basis in reality, yet they attack a woman's core sense of self. Shame has a persistent voice. If these whispers go unchallenged, they slowly harden into foundational beliefs. Guilt focuses on behavior. It identifies a specific mistake, an isolated node, and says, "I made a mistake." Shame, however, expands to consume the center core. It moves past the behavior to target the individual, declaring, "I am the mistake." By attacking identity directly, betrayal trauma can be used to permanently cloud a woman's understanding of her eternal worth. Breaking this cycle requires a deliberate strategy to separate trauma from identity. We begin with a foundational truth. One person's choices, whether addiction, deception, or infidelity, never determine another person's value. After betrayal, the brain defaults to its worn neural pathways. Electrical signals pulse down a thick red pathway of fear. By using identity statements rooted in fact, a new white pathway forms, diverting signals away from the trauma response. This means actively shifting the internal dialogue toward truths such as, "I am a beloved daughter of Heavenly Father," and "I choose truth over shame." Repeatedly rehearsing these declarations makes these new neural routes more familiar than the old paths of shame. By choosing truth every day, the brain eventually learns to recognize your inherent value as its new default setting. Imagine a delicate seedling placed in the middle of a blizzard. It will naturally struggle to survive the sub-zero temperatures and wind. The seed itself isn't failing, it is simply in an environment that is actively destroying it. Healing requires a shift in energy, moving away from trying to change someone else's blizzard and focusing on cultivating a greenhouse. This protective dome creates a controlled internal environment where growth is possible regardless of the weather outside. Building this greenhouse involves practical daily choices, setting healthy boundaries, joining safe support groups, prioritizing daily prayer, and establishing consistent sleep routines and emotional regulation. While the greenhouse does not stop the storm, it provides the safety and nourishment necessary to continue her own development despite the chaos. Trauma strips away the sense of control, leaving the brain in a state of constant, exhausting reaction to every external trigger. Recovery is found in the ability to pause, evaluate the current moment, and choose a response based on personal values rather than immediate fear. Even when a spouse's speak to yourself, and when to return your focus to Christ. Agency is one of God's greatest gifts. Reclaiming it means understanding that healing is achieved one deliberate, faithful choice at a time. To apply these tools, we must catch shame in the act. When an intrusive thought appears, pause and objectively ask, what is actually true? For example, you might experience the thought, "I should have known." We take that jagged shame statement and replace it with a solid reality. I made decisions based on the information I had at the time. The truth may feel unfamiliar at first, but that lack of familiarity has no bearing on its factual validity. Practicing this replacement daily breaks the adversary's hold on your identity, proving that your worth was never dependent on another person's choices. This process eventually leads to Jesus Christ, the master healer. He acknowledges the weight of the pain, but he refuses to let that pain define you. Healing involves tending to the soil of your own life and allowing the atonement to transform the pain, eventually restoring your original identity. You are not what happened to you. You are not your trauma. Your identity remains eternal. Challenge one lie today. Replace it with one truth. And begin cultivating your greenhouse by finding a worth group at healingwithworth.org.